world alike. Like, I don't really believe in a targeted audience.
Right. Oh, have I lost Fadya? No, I've got her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got me?
Now, Fadya, sorry, I thought I lost you for a minute. Now, you mentioned DRUZE. Let me just spell it, D-R-U-Z-E, right?
That's correct.
So I had to go, honestly, and I did the same thing. I went to Wikipedia and just wanted to know what it actually says and what videos are out there. And I looked at the recent videos about DRUZE, D-R-U-Z-E, and who they are and all that.
Yes.
And it really goes about originating in the Western Asia. It doesn't even sound like Western Asia is like, okay, Western Asia, is that like still Asia, or we're talking Middle East?
Yeah. Egypt. Well, the founder was an Egyptian ruler,
right,
called Fatimid Khalifat, and he founded the Druze religion, and he was Egyptian and actually stemmed from Muslims. So originally, we were Muslim, but we branched out because we didn't believe in all, the beliefs of the, what the Muslims, fanatical Muslims believe.
But that's interesting because there's nothing there, even on the Wikipedia, it doesn't mention about the founder. All it says, Jethro of Maiden is considered an ancestor of all people from Jewish mountain who revere him.
You have to delve further into because I did Google it a lot to find my own information via online,
so
Wikipedia or via others,
So we're talking about an Egyptian there so is he a chief prophet, and what sort of are we talking about around when 800 AD or roughly?
Yeah, so it was the Druze religion was established in Cairo in 1017.
1017, right?
So his name was Al-Hakim, Al-Hakim Fatimid Khalifat,
Hakim,
and he founded it in the early 11th century.
Right. 11th century.
We are a branch of Islam containing elements of Christianity,
Yes.
Judaism, and Islam.
Yes, yes.
So, the Druze have amalgamated philosophies on mysticism, cosmology, Hinduism, Judaism, and Christianity. And it's interesting because it also has geometry elements of Pythagoreanism and Neoplatonism. So it's really fascinating religion.
And the other thing, I also it also got chapters of Plato and Aristotle, and
that's right.
The Greek philosophers, great Greek philosophers, and there's more, of course, and they're playwrights, amazing stuff. So that's the Druze for our listeners. I hope you've listened to all of that. Because to me, I haven't had the single ink about anything about the Druze. Because when you actually listen to some of the videos, they talk about the Druze in the north in Israel and Syria and most of it there. And I'm going, okay. But interesting, one of the videos, Fadya, of course, they talk about part of the religion is that they solidly believe in the state in which they live. So a Druze that's living in Israel absolutely 100% supports Israel. A Druze that lives in Syria or Egypt or Iraq or in Germany will follow the law, the land of the law, to the 10th degree. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's what I have researched, and they do. They sort of, it says somewhere that if they're walking with a Christian, they become a Christian. If they're walking with a Muslim, they'll become a Muslim. So it's Hindu thought, like Greek thought with Hindu influences. So they're sort of like taking from every religion. They're embracing every culture.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's
as you
lovely,
said, the law
isn't
of the land.
I mean. Yeah, Fadya, it talks about, it's almost the start of the birth of interfaith kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, let's talk about the book. With the design of your book, Fadya, the book cover, please explain why you chose the pentagram star and a golden ratio image. Now, please go. Yeah, I just...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the Khams Hudud at the front of the front cover display is the Khamsa Hudud, meaning the 5-pointed star symbol.
Right.
It's the DRUZE symbol of our culture, and the golden ratio is also called golden mean, golden section, divine proportion, that embodies everything in nature, music, ancient geometry, and it's also got spiritual elements as well. But it's actually my interpretation, because in the DRUZE, they actually, what stands vertical is the green colour, which is the mind, but I've put the white colour, the point of the white colour on the top, with most DRUZE are like, no, it should be the green standpoint at the vertical top end of the star.
Right.
And my interpretation was I wanted it to be the white instead of green, which refers to the mind. So I'll go through. The green colour represents the mind, al-aql.
Yep.
Red is the soul, al-nafs.
Right.
Yellow, the word, al-kalima. Blue, sky and faith, al-sabih. And white is future and air. And ether, if you've heard of ether, which is like a scientific fact of air, phytoplankton.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my interpretation. So they can't say that I'm, blaspheming the DRUZE religion, or really I want to embrace our culture, the beauty of it, and the geometry of it all.
Wow. The 5 pillars of the DRUZE faith.
That's right.
Ah.
Well done. So it's 5555, like 1.618. It's every phytoplankton, 5 points. It's all in my book, really. So it's quite fascinating, and even like I'm excited talking about it, because it's not the end to the DRUZE. Like, I have just tapped very lightly. I wish I could have delved into it more so in the book. But the second book will definitely be a sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the message you want to share with the world about the novel Deep Within, in this particular novel?
Yeah, sure, Jerry. I love your questions. They're very good. The message I aim to share with the world is for all to tap into your souls and delve deeper into educating our children, for they are our future. On ecosystems, which includes all living things, plants, animals, organisms, non-living environments, weather, earth, sun, soil, climate, and atmosphere, which is ether, that, just to, be fascinated in science books. Let's take children to the library more often and just show, teach them about Carl Sagan and, Lawrence Krauss and all, the scientists of the world, and, Richard Feynman, and just get, tap into that with children and educate them more so with the passion with science. Not only about theology, that we want to branch out into and looking after our planet.
It's a holistic approach.
Yes.
What is your the title? Why is your title called Deep Within? And it continues. The nectar of the gods rests the Jewish faith. It's like it's saying, especially the narrative. Yes.
So your question, deep within is into being, looking internally at thyself.
Right.
And nectar is the honey of the gods.
Yep.
Rest. I didn't want to write lies, the DRUZE faith, because I feel like people say lies, so I put rest. It rests the DRUZE faith, and nectar being the honey, which is sweet and good for you, the nutrients, and the drink of the gods. In Greek and Roman mythology, it means honey and bees, and rest the DRUZE faith, spirituality and nutrients and goodness.
Do you have on the internet, looking up just very briefly and shallowly, and I do apologise on that, the DRUZE faith in Melbourne, there is a community. And so would you say there's, 3,000 in Melbourne and 4,000, 5,000 in New South Wales? Are they the numbers, roughly?
Yeah, there are. Like, there's majority, like the DRUZE community, they all got together for the big DRUZE weekend.
Right. And when was that?
Yeah, that was in Malvern, Malvern like a community centre there,
right,
where they all got together, and now they're holding the big DRUZE weekend,
right,
which is amazing because they all get together, and there's from Brisbane and Adelaide and Sydney, and Melbourne. There's all youth and uniting them together to understand more about the Druze religion. And I did have a speech there about my book, and I had a brief book launch about that yesterday, which was really good. And I sold it roughly 21 books. Which is good. It's a start. It's a start.
Hang on, I'll clap for you. Yay.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Well done. And when I do my radio program, I used to have few listeners, family, and family, and no one else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, that never worried me, or the feedback, or the who's listening and not who's listening. What would you like, Fadya? What would you like the readers to take with them after reading your novel?
Yeah, I want people and children, adults, to read and understand this message, to engage the heart and love, compassion towards all of humanity, to preach compassion always, so that all the colours merge as one, all the colours on the pentagram star all merge, and the only religion that humans must share, connecting consciousness, is to preach compassion always and to love one another in our earth and our environment and Mother Nature and the ecosystem, mutually supportive progression, and educating our children, igniting their curiosity, particularly on science and the environment, and, to find out about how Carl Sagan was, environmentalist and a scientist, and he really cared for the earth.
Wow.
So, I want to enhance through books for children, just to ignite that. And that's the reason that deep within the Nectar of the Gods, the rest of the space is about the message. It's really not about theology or, trying to break away from religion.
Why do we always automatically, if we don't know, if we don't understand, we've got this always, the first task is to, sit back and go, oh, it's a religious thing. But
exactly. And it's a fear factor as well,
is,
because
yes.
they're like, oh, we don't, as well, which we have to take away that fear factor and just, and try to look at something. It may not look right to you, but then delve deeper into it so that you can, as you said, the understanding, try to understand everybody that person might not look great from the outside, but delve deeper into their soul and you'll say, wow, this person is such a beautiful person. Why did I judge them? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but really,
human
it does
nature.
happen, and it's a sad thing in the world today.
Fadya, you've been an example and an extraordinary person within the Druze family. Of course.
Thank you, Jerry.
That makes a difference.
Right back at you.
I have to tell you, and that's been sincere, Australian-born, and then finding, and we all go through those stages where we want to find our the connections, the understanding, the reason behind the behaviour, and all of those wonderful things that actually encapsulates who we are as an individual. And your directive, your inner directive, tells you keep going, and
inner will, it's an inner sort of a will that says, hey, you've got to get this message out there to the world. I know many people are trying, and there's successful people, inspirational people out there, but I haven't had it easy, and everyone's suffering. Everyone goes through pain and suffering, and it's up to you. It's the choice you make, how you want to, would you want to become a lotus flower? I mean, even the beauty of Thich Nhat Hanh inspired me, a peace activist, Buddhist monk, Thich Nhat Hanh. I can't emphasize him enough, that, beauty and that, embrace suffering, embrace it and work with it. Well
done. I do sincerely want to thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you, Jerry.
Inspiration.
Thank you for your valuable time, and AHMED SOBOH. You've been wonderful and a great support network for me. Middle Eastern Radio, I couldn't thank you enough. And wow, I met a wonderful soul, Jerry. I hope to meet you in the future.
Thank you so much, and good night.
Thank you, Jerry.
That was the lovely Fadya. Fadya, of course, is launching her book tomorrow, 11 o'clock sharp at Frankston Library. We've had the Friday, the Saturday, and tomorrow being Sunday. So I think you